Samrawit had hoped to leave Eritrea. One of her close relatives had fled military conscription there, and she was afraid of conscription herself. She was afraid for her life, but instead, in her search for refuge, she was abducted by human traffickers and faced a 2-year ordeal with torture and sexual abuse. She was just 18 when it happened. The kidnappers took her to a town in Sudan near the border with Libya. Her real identity is being hidden, and she told her story to the UN's Refugee Agency.
When I remember that moment, I feel terrible. First, they took us by force on our way to the market. They told us we are going to Libya. Second, they raped us and threatened us with knives and guns.
Samrawit is now safe in Rwanda, but getting there was a tough ordeal. She was held for 2 months in a traffickers' camp in southeast Libya, where her captors initially demanded $6,000 for her freedom. She was bought and sold by different groups of traffickers and smugglers. Her family eventually paid over $12,000 for ransom and a spot on a boat to Europe. But it didn't get better. Last July, the smugglers finally took 350 of them to the Mediterranean coast to attempt the crossing to Europe. The boats later began to sink. Samrawit managed to swim for 8.5 hours until she was found by the Libyan Coast Guard. She was taken to a detention centre and, with help from the UN, was then evacuated to Rwanda last October, alongside other refugees who had been in Libya. More than 250 people rescued from Libya now live in the Gashora transit centre on the outskirts of the capital, Kigali. Most come from Eritrea, Somalia and Sudan and have been given asylum seeker status. The UN agency and other partners are calling on countries to protect refugees and migrants travelling on routes controlled by human traffickers and to hold those responsible to account.